Hey guys, Mike Toy Bonsai Boise. So it is late March here in Boise, Idaho, and things are starting to bloom everywhere you look. And got quite a mess here to deal with. So today's task is going to be to clean up this mess, put the benches back together, make sure everything is in order. So I'm going to get started on that, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterward, and we'll do a quick walkthrough of all the trees and look at how everybody did over the winter. Let's go. Okay, one quick look here at this one, the Dwarf Alberta Spruce. So this pot broke over the winter. I must have noticed it sometime in maybe January. Can't remember. Like, I don't know what to do. So I just used some zip ties to kind of hold it together till spring. And now here we are. So I've got this new pot. I'm going to just slip pot it into this new pot. Wow. Timing couldn't have been better on that. Literally falling apart in front of me. So I don't know what we're going to see in there, but I'm going to go ahead and do this now. I'll let you see it after I'm done. There we go. Much better. Pot's bigger than the last one, of course, but I give it more room to grow. And it's not broken. That's a plus. Quick look at this honeysuckle. I did an air layer on this last June, and if you look closely, I believe those are roots, and lots of them. And it would make sense because it's still alive up there. So I'll have to come back with a saw and do this. Probably be next weekend though. Here's an interesting one. This is a privet I've had for a few years, but I really thought this one died. I thought this was a for sure casualty. But, as you can see here, it didn't die. It somehow lived. That's always good to see. So far, I think I'm shooting 100%. I don't think I've had any casualties yet, aside from some pots that have been broken. But I don't want to jinx it. We'll see if I find one. But I wanted to just get a good look at that. All right, so I got it all cleaned up. I don't have everything in its final position yet, but the goal today was just to get it onto the benches. Let's take a quick look. Here's the lilac. It's called a presidential Grevy lilac. It's a silver maple that I dug up a few years ago. Another silver maple. Something I noticed kind of weird, and I noticed this on a few trees. Look at that. It's almost like it was burned. I have no idea what that is or how it got there. There's nothing, it's not like a vent or anything that is pouring down on it. It's just like it got burnt. I'll show you one other here in a minute that kind of was similar. But anyways, there's the honeysuckle. It's an amur maple. I did a lot of gigantic cuts. If you've watched any of my previous videos or watch some of my previous updates from maybe this time last year, you'll see that a lot of these trees were basically twice the size, and I cut them in half. This is a Zeldkova Elm. That is a blueberry bush. I'm gonna bonsai that someday. Here is the Katanister. I just did a video and posted a video on yesterday. There's my juniper. Needs a little bit of wiring and styling. Another silver maple. I posted a video on that a week or two ago. One of the privets that I thought was dead. I have two. Little red maple. Did a big chop right there. Dwarf Alberta Spruce. It's not looking fantastic, but I think it'll be fine. This thing's been through heck already. Let's see. Juniper that I sort of forgot about and was under the benches a lot last year. I'm going to try to give it a little more love this year if I can. Green ash, twin trunk. My favorite tree, Shantung maple, which is actually a Chinese maple. You hear a lot about Japanese maples. You rarely hear about the Chinese maples. Shantung maple, Acer truncatum. It's in a little rough shape too. A lot of my trees are. Had some die back, and just haven't had the opportunity to fix that yet, but had this tree over 10 years now. 10, 11, maybe 12, something like that. Silver maple. Did a big trunk chop there today. It was about up to here before. Zeldkova. Red maple. Did some big chops on it too. This one I'm trying to just work on the taper. And so far, I think it's working. Some willow cuttings back there, silver maple. Siberian elm forest. I plan on doing another Siberian elm forest and a Zeldkova forest soon. My wisteria, been growing this for 5 or 6 years now. Did some major chops on it today. This is the year for that. Big chops everywhere. There's my western sand cherry. Did a video on that a couple weeks ago. My loop-de-loop silver maple. Always been one of my favorites. I like this little guy. Japanese maple. Amur maple. Some Zeldkova cuttings. This is an oak leaf sumac. This is one where the pot broke over the winter. It was in like a terracotta pot, kind of like that one. Just broke. So kind of an emergency repot on it in like January. It's out here freezing. I think it's going to bounce back. I gave it the smell test, which is a weird thing for bonsai tree. But this is the smelliest tree I've ever worked with. I hate it. It is like the most rank smell. That's why they call it a skunk bush. I just clipped a little bit today, smelled it to see if it was still alive, and it is. Or they just smell when they're dead. I don't know which. Here's another privet. Here's another one where it's like it got burnt. It's so weird. I've never experienced that before. Maybe there's a bug or something that does it. I have no idea. Some oak, more oak, another oak. This is mostly just like in development type stuff in here. I'm more maple here. Japanese maple back there. Some silver maples that I'm not even sure what I'm doing with yet. They're just kind of in a pot. More maple. Silver maple that I wired up this way last year. Another willow. That's a bay willow. Another blueberry bush. I think this is going to make a cool bonsai someday. We'll see. Crabapple tree. I'm going to air layer this hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I might, hopefully. Right about there. Got a cool root base. Ooh, didn't notice that before. I don't know what happened there. Huh. Weird. Well, it's got a cool root base on this side. Some cuttings. And last but not least, corkscrew willow. Talk about needing a trim, man. This thing needs a trim. I just haven't had a chance to get to it yet. dwarf Korean lilac. So there it is. That's the update. We'll call it early spring update. Got this area cleaned up and ready for growing. Thanks for watching, everybody.